Good evening, everyone. I would like to call to order this meeting of the Salem-Keizer School District Budget Committee. Roll call, please.
Betty Patacoli. Here. Nancy McMorris-Audix.
Here.
Mark Bateman.
Here.
Chris Brantley.
Here.
Lloyd Chapman.
Here.
Rachel Dewey Thorset.
Here.
Jeff Fayville.
Here.
Jim Green.
Here.
Levy Herrera Lopez.
Here.
Rick Kimball.
Here.
Adam Kohler.
Here.
Paul Kylo.
Here.
Larry Trott.
Here.
And Chuck Lee is at the Eagle Feather graduation this evening.
Okay, we will now ask for public testimony. I have two people signed up right now. When you approach the podium, please state your name and address for the record. Please keep your comments to 3 minutes. You'll see a little timer there on the podium. Yellow light means 1 minute left, and the red light means your time is up. And first, I would like to call John Reeves.
Thank you. I'm John Reeves. My address is 2577 Hoodoo Drive, Northwest Salem, and I'm a West Salem resident. Madam Chair, sorry, members of the committee, I just wanted to take a moment to share some thoughts with you about the budget and especially the addition of the full-day kindergarten. I just want to thank you guys for making an investment in that way. I'm a member of the Early Learning Hub board, and many of the investments that we're trying to secure within the community and a lot of the work that we're doing, this full-day kindergarten is really supportive of the opportunities that we're doing in partnership between early learning programs and the school districts that we're working in partnership with. And so I just really want to say that an investment such as this is really helping to increase the amount of time that children are receiving educational opportunities, but more importantly, relationship building with the teachers that they're interacting with, that really also secures an opportunity for them to individualize services for those children based on their specific needs. And I can't stress enough, I also am the director of Community Action, Head Start, and Early Head Start, and our program partners a lot with the school district, and we really value that. And when we're transitioning children over, there's still children that are falling through the cracks in the achievement gap, and it's widening as we speak. And so I think kindergarten in an extended day is really going to be one of the things to provide a foundation for children as they're setting their school course and their life success. So I just wanted to come and as a member of the community who will have a kindergartner coming in, not this year but next, I hope that these opportunities continue to expand, and thank you very much for your investment.
Thank you. Next, I have Jen Columbus. Is that right?
Madam Chair and members of the School Board Budget Committee, to echo John's sentiments, my name is Jen Columbus, and I am the Northwest Area Manager for SMART, Start Making a Reader Today. And my address for SMART is P.O. Box 13021, Salem, Oregon 97309. And I'm also a Salem resident. And just to echo what John said, as a supporter of literacy and also a early learning hub member of Marion and Polk counties, I want to encourage and support the move to full-day kindergarten. SMART currently supports 7 elementary schools in the Salem-Keizer School District with regular reading opportunities with volunteer support once or twice a week, as well as supporting 3 preschool programs in the district as well. And SMART also supports children in more than 250 schools across the state of Oregon. This increased time in the school setting offers an increased opportunity for students to benefit from literacy experiences that are positive and individualized. And this increased dosage also prepares for stronger and more confident readers. So thank you very much for your consideration.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience at this point? Yes.
I'd like to read a
Nancy?
letter that I received from Lisa Harnish, who is Executive Director of the Early Learning Hub. If I might read it into the record, she would be here if she weren't at a Early Learning Hub meeting in Madras. Dear Superintendent Perry, members of the Salem-Keizer School District Board, and members of the Salem-Keizer Budget Committee. If you change the beginning of the story, you change the whole story. Dimitri Christaki. I'm writing in full support and appreciation of the school board's investment in full-day kindergarten for children in the Salem-Keizer School District. Our community faces an ever-widening academic gap seen through these statistics. In our district, 59% of children are considered living in poverty. Approximately 20 of our 42 elementary schools report enrollment of over 50% represented as a minority, and approximately 15 of our elementary schools have more than half their children not meeting or achieving third grade literacy. Full-day kindergarten is a meaningful strategy to bridge the disparity in our community and better prepare children to be successful academically. The investment in full-day kindergarten will allow us to increase the amount of contact time with children, which will increase the exposure to critical literacy and math skills, increase the building executive function and social emotional skills, which will provide a more solid foundation to ensure third grade literacy, the strongest predictor of high school graduation, and a greater success in life beyond our schools, allow for better connection and engagement with families, and allow us to connect families with meaningful resources. Your support, your investment will change the end of the story for better outcomes. Sincerely, Lisa Harnish, Executive Director, Early Learning Hub.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, that ends our public testimony for the evening. Next, Superintendent Perry will give us an update on the proposed budget.
All right, so I just have a very few updates for you. You have a yellow sheet. This is the revised version of last night's. The items have not changed. The numbers have changed a bit as we had a little more time to look carefully at those numbers. So this replaces your green sheet from last night, and it takes out the information about the corporate kicker as well. And then the other item, which I will not go through in great detail, but this is the crosswalk now from the proposed budget to here are the additions and changes. This tells you by page number how those changes will go into the budget document once approved. So this reflects all the things we talked about in the last several meetings with the May adjustments and the May revenue forecast. So lots of detail, but this is your crosswalk to the budget book. So with that, I'll open it up for any questions for me directly about any of these documents.
Okay, no questions for Superintendent Perry? Okay, committee deliberations and recommendations. Please raise your hand if you have anything that you would like to add to this. Yes, Jeff?
It's a question, actually. What would be the effect if we still offered to parents who wanted it half-day kindergarten instead of only offering full-day kindergarten? I'm kind of wondering if that's more of a board or more of a budget committee decision.
I think that's a recommendation to me type decision. What our data will tell us is that the examples, Portland Public Schools, and 98% of their kids attend full-day K. So while we might have families that might choose a half-day program in a private school or something like that, over time, we know that most of the families that are eligible will take advantage of full-day kindergarten. What happens right now is in the reverse. We have only a half-day program, so we do have families that access full-day K through private preschool and kindergarten programs, and I think that will just reverse. We struggled with that a little bit internally as we were bringing forward our recommendation, but it's easier to plan and the right way to plan to expect based on the trends from other districts that the majority of our families will take advantage of the full-day K option. And so then it's difficult to predict what if you only budget for half of kindergarten and you're expecting though that 98%. So then it's that shifting it around. So it's not our recommendation at this time to do anything other than full-day kindergarten.
Okay.
Rachel, did you have a question?
Actually,
Comment?
a comment. I mean, I'm very comfortable with the budget as it's proposed. My one issue would be the one I brought up yesterday, which is that given kind of the extent to which we're reducing contingency this year, that if there were unforeseen issues, I mean, it's a little difficult because we're trying to firm this up before the state is really firming things up. And so that if something happened that impacted the mentoring program, that I would hope that the board would revisit some of the items, kind of the last few items that are pushing contingency down in this document, because I think, you know, if things didn't turn out the way we thought it would be, mentoring probably comes higher on my list than some of the last few pieces of the last few additions from in the.
And we haven't talked about that internally, but I would feel the same way about that. It's and so we haven't, because it's been that automatic funding source. But I would have a different perspective also in what I added if something happened with that.
I don't feel a strong need to kind of put it in anything official. I just kind of wanted to get that
Yeah, thank you.
out there.
Any other committee members want to identify any changes? Thoughts, comments?
Madam
Jim?
Chair, I have a motion,
Okay.
if we've finished deliberations and discussion. I move on May 19, 2015, that the Budget Committee of School District 24J-32, Marion, Polk Counties, Oregon, hereby approves the budget document as revised by the Budget Committee for the 2015-2016 fiscal year. The total budget sum approved is $665,720,876 as detailed. In the general fund, that's $433,168,02. In total special revenue funds, the amount of $91,324.333. Total debt service funds of $75,163,625. Total capital projects funds of $32,542,082. The enterprise fund of $939,132. Total internal service funds of $32,281,209. The trust fund of $302,493 for a total 15-16 budget of $665,720,876. That the permanent tax rate of $4.52 be assessed in support of the general fund. That a tax levy of $33,990,211 be approved for the general obligation bonds debt service fund for the purpose of the annual payment toward the retirement of bonded debt owed by the district. That our property tax levies be in the following amounts: the general fund levy of $72,118,902, general obligation bond debt service fund of $33,990,211, for a total property tax levy of $106,109,113.
Second.
Wait a second. So,
Yes.
who was it? Mark, sorry.
Mark.
Mark. Okay, comments? Questions, comments? Yes, Jim?
I have a comment, and then I also need to declare a potential conflict of interest, Madam Chair.
Okay.
First and foremost, I really appreciate the opportunity for us to be adding back into a budget. I think for the time that I've served on this budget committee, and that would be 6, 7, 8 years now, this is only the third time I've been able to add to the budget. While it's not as much as I'd like, and I think there are some things where we're setting aside, for example, $3 million for a debt in PERS that's yet to come. Really like to see that money go for instructional services to boys and girls, but I understand that our rate increase is coming in 2017 for that purpose. But I do like the actions that the superintendent took with regard to curriculum, direct services for students, and keeping our infrastructure moving forward. I had concerns about technology, and I'm glad to see that we took care of $1 million of that concern, as well as phone lines. I think we still have a lot more to do in technology, obviously a lot more to do in curriculum development and adoption, but I do appreciate being able to move this budget forward while making additions and doing things that I think will improve the learning for the boys and girls in the Salem-Keizer School District. And on the advice of District Council, I do need to declare a potential conflict of interest before I vote on the budget. I work for the Oregon School Boards Association. A small, very small portion of the budget before you pays the dues for the school board for the Salem-Keizer School District to be a member of that association.
Nancy?
Thanks, Jim. That was a really great overview of the positives in this budget. I just want to echo the things we heard from public testimony, and I'm really pleased to see that we're making this commitment in our youngest children with all-day kindergarten.
Chris?
I will echo those thoughts and add the one about, I'm glad to see us being able to continue to build our CTEC school, even though it hasn't officially opened yet. We're already talking about how it's building, which is great, and I think it's going to be a real addition for our district.
Levi?
And as a long-term advocate in this community, I think I'm really glad to see some of the investments that we're making, and I echo all the comments in support and thank all the staff for the work that they did.
And I would like to thank you all for allowing me to be the chair of this committee. And this is my 4th year, I believe, and it is very nice to be involved when we're adding money back in to the district. All right.
Ready for a vote?
Yep. Okay, any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
It's unanimous.
What did I say? The budget is officially...
Budget is officially approved.
The budget is officially approved for the 2015.
Or it's our recommendation
It's
to the
our
board is
recommendation to the
approved.
board. Thank you.
Yeah.
Rachel, you can take this over next year. We are, let's talk about next steps, and that is, there is the meeting on Tuesday, June 9th, the regular school board meeting, where they will talk about adopting this budget. So hopefully some of us can attend that.
And if we have any changes in revenue between now and then, or more information about any changes in any of the strategic investments from the state, we will bring that forward to the school board at that time.
Madam Chair? If I
Yes.
could, I'd like to just publicly thank the superintendent, Mike Wolf, Susan Dodd, and the staff in our business services. Putting together a budget of over $600 million is never easy work to define it in, so I just want to thank them for their work.
Thank you, everyone. We are adjourned. It's a record.